I recorded one of my favorite bands featuring James Hinkle at the Central Market in Austin, Texas. That audio and video clip you just heard was recorded on my iPhone, digitally. It's amazing that we can do that this day. We've got that capability in our pockets. I'm Martin Theophilus, and I'm on the board of the Museum of Magnetic Sound Recording, Austin, Texas. We're in the process of creating what we believe will be a dynamic new museum in Austin. It's going to celebrate the history of recording, as well as all the aspects that recording impacts. Audio recording actually started in the late 1800s, but it was acoustical, which means that you were taking the vibrations of sound and having a needle actually etch that sound into a cylinder or a vinyl disc. It has evolved quite a bit since then, and in fact magnetic sound recording, when it came into being in the middle 30s, really changed the ability for folks to record and edit. So as you notice, I'm surrounded by magnetic tape recorders. I've been recording since 1950 something. I started a company in 1964, and I've always been involved in recording of some type or another. My wife gave me an Edison cylinder player from 1904, and in the late 90s that started a collection that I wanted to recapture recorders I'd worked with. I thought it would just be maybe 15, 20, something like that. We're at 180, and some really exciting things happened as I was collecting these recorders. We've ended up securing recorders that include the Ampex 200A. This is a recorder that was backed by Bing Crosby and enabled him to get away from disc recording. If he did a live show and it was recorded on discs, which again we're talking about acoustical, a needle etching the sound waves into a vinyl disc, if he made a mistake or wanted to add something, the only way to do that was to re-record it. If they wanted to duplicate the disc, anytime you go to the next generation of a vinyl disc, you're going to lose quality. So he was losing quality. And so when he saw the magnetic technology that was brought back by Jack Mullen after World War II from what Germany had actually built in the mid-30s, America started building magnetic tape recorders. So we have the Ampex 200A. It's about 240 pounds, and it's an incredible unit that was used. Actually, I learned the other day when we did an interview with Floyd Domino that Sleep at the Wheel may have used that recorder in mastering a demo out in California in their early days. We also have Willie Studer's early recorders. Willie Studer was an interesting person who was asked to rebuild some American recorders in the early 50s, and he decided he could do it better, and Studer became one of the premier recording machines in studios around the world. So as we went into this, when I mentioned World War II, what I started realizing is that we were losing the people that invented this technology, the people that manufactured this technology, and a lot of the engineers in that got it started right after World War II. We're currently losing World War II veterans at an extremely high rate, and these folks are disappearing too. John Boyer is one of the original founders of Magnecord. His son, Dave Boyer, said that his dad, who had Alzheimer's, saw a clip of our video about his company, and he really brightened up about it. Unfortunately, John Boyers passed away in late 2012. But his son Dave, because of what we're trying to create in this museum, has offered us the archives of the Magnecord company. Austin does not have a serious museum that celebrates recording technology and music, broadcasting, and those kinds of things. We've met with several people, including the Texas Music Museum, which interestingly has a collection of acoustic and early recording devices that actually predate what our collection has. And there would be a real neat synergy if we could bring those collections together. Gary Hartman in San Marcos, Texas, has the Texas Music Road Trip collection. That collection was displayed in the Bob Bullock Museum in the fall of 2012, got 250,000 attendees, which is the most the Bullock has ever had for a temporary display. And then of course it was taken away and put away, and Gary still displays at different places, but it's not always available to the public. So there's a lot of collections like that that we think could be brought together and create a museum in Austin. They're all responsive. It's really difficult to get something like this started. We actually pitched this during the City of Austin Home Intake Facility, and surprisingly we won the competition for what the use should be of that facility. Unfortunately, we could not bring together the design resources to actually bring it to fruition and had to drop out. But it did attract the attention of the Bullock Museum, and we've had discussions with them about our collection and about where they're going with their displays of Texas music. So where we are right now is out of room. We're really out of room for all this, and we're getting a lot of offers for donations of this equipment. So we're looking through this Indiegogo.com project to raise some funds to, one, provide some storage, that we could lease some storage for the equipment that we're being donated. We could also pay some of the shipping for some of the people. Some of the items they really would like to donate, but the shipping costs really kind of make it prohibitive for them. So we would like to enable that for them. We'd also like to get some funding to help supplement design work to show what would the museum look like, and some funds to acquire significant items that are not donated. I picture a facility where you could walk in, you'd instantly see the history of sound recording from the very first time that sound was recorded, through the acoustical recording, through wire recording, through reel-to-reel recording, finally to cassettes and into CDs and digital. We think that this whole history could be presented in an exciting museum that then encompassed all the parts of what recording did for the various entities, such as music, broadcasting, science, education. In music especially, we have such a rich history in Austin. It would be neat if people could come in and see a whole lot about the life of people like Willie Nelson and Stevie Ray Vaughan, very iconic Austin figures. We have some other significant broadcast figures here, Dan Rather, Cactus Pryor, and others. We could also have areas where families could bring in kids and show them how the technology evolved. We will have working recorders, we'll have acoustical devices that we can share with everybody. We're excited about doing this, and I know this initial pitch is basically to get storage and do shipping and help us with the initial design, but I hope I've given you a little bit better idea of what we really see the overall museum being. We envision having a couple of studios that would have equipment from like the 50s through the 70s, and then maybe from the 70s through the 90s. We would have a small theater where you could actually do performance. They would be tied to the studios so that folks could show you how the recording process went on. And I think it'd just be a really fun place to visit. When you consider that Austin is a live music capital of the world, we have people coming in for South by Southwest, we have the Austin City Limits Festival, and just a lot of other things that occur in Austin that I think would keep a constant stream of folks visiting this museum. Thank you so much for taking the time and considering our information. Take a look at our website. We're very passionate about what we're trying to do with this. We think an Austin Music and Recording Technology Museum would be an exciting place to visit, and we hope you do too. Thanks.